Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture series on DBMS. In our last discussion, we were talking about the canonical cover or the minimal cover of the functional dependency. Now we will see one more example to have a better understanding of the topic. So far, we have understood that if we have a set of functional dependencies for a relational model, then to increase the strength or to make that functional dependencies better, we have to remove the redundancies in that functional dependencies. Redundancy means what? Basically the repetition in that functional dependency. So by removing that redundancy, we find a minimal cover which is more efficient for that relational model, right? So now this is the relational model that we have, and these are the sets of functional dependencies for which we have to check that if there is any redundancy in this set of functional dependencies, then we have to remove it, right? So now the first thing that we have to do is, we have already seen that we apply the decomposition rule on these sets of functional dependencies. So now first is we have VW, then we have VW to X, then we have Y to V, Y to X, Y to Z. Now on right hand side we have only one single attribute. Next thing that we have to do is, we have to see if one by one, if by having that functional dependency in the system or by not having it, is it there going to be any difference or not. So how do we check that? For this first functional dependency, we find out the closure of V first by considering this functional dependency. So we have V, then W, and if we have VW, we have X. Next, again, we find out the closure of V, but this time we do not consider this functional dependency. So if we do not consider that functional dependency, we can have V over here. Now, do we have anything else with only V? No. So now we can see that if we remove this functional dependency, then we will not be able to find out the value of W and X, which we could find out by keeping that functional dependency. So this functional dependency we will have to keep. Next is VW. So now we will find out the closure for VW by keeping the functional dependency in system first. So we have V, W, then we have X, then do we have anything else? No. Now again we find out the closure of VW, but this time we won't consider this functional dependency. So what do we get? We get VW, and with VW do we get anything else? With this we get W, but we already have that, and no, nothing else. So now again we can look over here that if we remove this functional dependency, we will lose the value of X. So again this functional dependency we will have to keep. Now next is this functional dependency. So for this we will first try to find out the closure of Y. Now Y will give us Y, then we have V, and with V we can have W. Again with Y we can have X, then with Y we can have Z. Right? Now next task is, we again find out the closure of Y, but this time we do not consider this functional dependency. So first thing that we get is Y, and if we do not consider this, we get X and Z. We get X and Z. Anything else do we get over here? X and Z we have. V we do not have. So nothing else, right? So now again we can see, if we remove this functional dependency, we will only have the value of Y, X and Z. VW value we will not have. So again we'll have to keep this one. Next is, for this functional dependency, again we'll try to find out the closure of Y. This time we won't consider this functional dependency. So with Y we can have V. So with Y we can have V, and with V we can have W, and with VW we can have X, although we could have X by, no, this one we are not considering. So and with Y we can have Z. So now we can see that even if we do not consider this functional dependency, if it is not there in the system, we could get all the attributes over here, right? So now this functional dependency we will remove, and now for further processing this will not be considered. right? Now next, for this functional dependency, again we try to find out the closure of y, but this time we won't consider this functional dependency, and this one we have already removed, so this one also won't be considered. So now next thing, what do we get? For y, we get y as it is, and is there anything else? We get v, and with v we get w, and with vw we get x, but now z. Do we get z by any means? No. So this functional dependency again is important. Now let's see which all functional dependencies among these have moved to the second step. So we have v to w, then we have vw to x, then y to v, then this one is removed, we have y to z. Now for these three functional dependencies, we can check that there are single attributes on left hand side and right hand side, so we do not have to check them now. But for this second functional dependency, we have two attributes on the left hand side, so we will have to check if any among these two attributes is redundant now. So how do we check? We have vw closure first, so we have v, w, then with vw we can have x, we cannot have anything else. So now we have to find out the closure of v and w alone, and this time we will consider all the functional dependencies. Why? Because we are not considering this entire functional dependency if there is any redundancy in that or not. We are just trying to check out if there is any redundancy in among these two attributes. So for this case, we do not have to ignore any functional dependency, we will consider all. So now we have v, then for v we can have w, and for vw we can have x, right? So now we can see that for vw and for v we can have both vwx, we can have all the attributes for v only. Now let's find out for w. For w we have w and we do not have anything else. Now over here we need to understand that with v alone we could find out all the attributes which our vw together was finding, right? So here we can understand that this w is not solving any specific purpose. We can remove it, and even after removing it we will have all the attributes over here. We do not have to consider w. Even without w we can find everything. So now for final answer, what is the minimal cover? If we apply the union, now for v we have w and x, so for v we can have w and x, for y we can have v and z. So finally this is the minimal cover of this set of functional dependencies that we have over here. So this was all about the canonical cover or the minimal cover. Thank you.